What can you tell us about where we go from here?
Sure. So now Bill Barr, the Attorney General, will receive the report, and now it's his duty to decide how much and to what extent he discloses to Congress or otherwise. The only thing he's mandated to report to Congress is if at some point he or any of his predecessors refused or rejected a request by Mueller to engage in conduct such as issuing subpoenas or issuing indictments. But by the regulations, that's his only obligation. So there really is a great deal of deference given to Attorney General Barr as to what to do next.
All right, Seth Waxman with us on the phone, former federal prosecutor. Talk to us a little bit about, how long this process will take. How long will it be before the public actually becomes aware what's in this report?
Yes, I mean, we've all been waiting for 22 months now, but unfortunately, we don't know the exact timing. Again, Bill Barr has a lot of discretion on what he can do, and there could be a legal challenge by the president's office seeking to review what's called the executive privilege. In other words, if there are parts of the report that they feel, the White House feels, should not be made public. So there could be a battle there. And then if Bill Barr, the Attorney General, refuses to release all of the report because of national security concerns or otherwise, you could have legal battles from Congress demanding to see the entire report. And we're already hearing murmurs of that. So I would expect that there's going to be a lot, or there is going to be a lot of pressure to get that report into the hands of the American people. So I suspect we're going to see a lot of it. It just may take some time.
And of course, there's already been endless speculation about what could be in this report. And, as has been discussed over and over again, even though several of Trump's associates have been drawn in as a result of the Mueller probe, there still has yet to be any evidence of any of them actually colluding with the Russians. Isn't that correct?
Well, publicly, I think that's fair to say. But, of course, we've probably only seen the tip of the iceberg as to what Bob Mueller has had. So now we're about to see it. And, for all those on either side of the fence who've been speculating or commenting, and we're kind of reaching the witching hour now where we're going to see it. And so, it's always been my belief that we've seen barely the tip of the iceberg of the true evidence. And now it's time to see what actually happened. And so, obviously, we're all very intent on seeing that, and we should know hopefully soon.
Now, once Congress is made aware of at least the headlines in this report, isn't that as good as public?
I'm sorry, they've been told the headlines have been made aware to Congress. Is that right? Is that?
My question is, once Attorney General Barr notifies Congress about the headlines in this report, isn't that as good as public? At that point, won't we start to see the details leaking to the press?
Well, yeah, I think that's a good question. Again, just because the headlines have been made available to Congress doesn't mean the details have. And these kinds of very complex investigations, the devil can be in the details. So, of course, the headlines are, is there a recommendation to Congress to impeach the president? That would be a significant headline, obviously. Are there recommendations as to others who engaged in criminal conduct, or recommendations that there should be ongoing investigations for further indictments? Those would be headlines. But and those will be the attention grabbers. But, until we see the entire report, we obviously won't know the full scope. But it sounds like things are already starting to come out.
All right. David Voreacos, our Bloomberg legal reporter, is joining us now from New York. David, do we have any additional details yet, aside from the fact that this report has been given to the Attorney General?
At this point, we really don't know what is in the report from Mueller. And the Attorney General is going to now make his decisions about what to forward to the White House or to Congress or to make public. So I think we're going to have an unspecified waiting period until we learn just what's in this report and what the public will know. And as your other guests have said, it's possible that there may be litigation, there may be fights in Congress over just what will be revealed as a result of Mueller's investigation.
More headlines crossing the terminal now. Attorney General Barr saying that no effort by Robert Mueller was blocked during this investigation. So there was a big question of whether, perhaps Mueller tried to, pursue certain avenues that the Attorney General prevented him from pursuing. David, what does that mean? That William Barr is saying that he had free rein?
There was a lot of concern across various political quarters that Mueller may have been constrained in what he could pursue as in the investigation, what methods he could use, and whether he would actually be fired or not. Obviously, he was never fired. So Barr is saying that Mueller could do whatever he had to do, follow whatever leads he needed to follow to complete his investigation.
Tim O'Brien, Bloomberg's Tim O'Brien joining us now as well. Tim, of course, you've reported on the president extensively and even before he was president. This whole investigation is something that has become of great interest for the president, even when not asked questions about it. He is talking about this investigation. You know, what do you imagine is going through the president's head right now, personally?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think this explains why he's been tweeting so actively and aggressively over the past week. He has tended historically to get engaged with Twitter when things are coming down the line legally, and we now know, I think, that this probably explains a lot of his tweeting since last Sunday. I don't think any of us can say anything really definitive about this until we know what the contents of that report are, and I think that's going to take more time than I think people have anticipated. Bill Barr is going to have to make a decision about how much of this is publicly available in terms of releasing it. He has national security and legal concerns that are going to inform that decision. I think members of Congress are going to want to see the whole thing, and I think that's going to become probably a food fight between Congress and the Justice Department. Specifically, I think Adam Schiff and Jerry Nadler in Congress will probably be among the more vocal or aggressive voices in that debate. I think the president now is going to be in to a certain extent, in a wait-and-see mode, but he's also going to want to spin this as quickly as he can in terms of shaping public perception about what the report means to his presidency and to the legal process.